Hey, it's Ryan from Mijingo.com, and this is part 2 in the series of videos I'm doing on how I create courses for Mijingo. And last time we talked about my brain, this card box that I have where I store all of my thoughts and ideas and notes from research and reading about topics that I'm going to do courses on and other things as well, and how this is my storage and retrieval system for finding ideas that I had and then assembling those into courses. So we'll put this aside because we've already organized the course and I figured out the general ideas that I want to cover. So now it's time to jump into a little bit more detail. The next thing I do once I have my cards all organized and how I want them to be, this is when I start to create a little bit more detail in the topics that I want to cover. And that happens a couple different ways. There's actually 3 ways that I do this. The first way is just with pen and paper, and I will jot through the ideas that I have from the cards and just sort of brainstorm and think about some of the things that I could do to make this into a course. And part of that is also thinking about a sample site. If there's a sample website that we're building or whatever the sample project happens to be, I'll start thinking about that then. So this is going from very focused type of planning that I did with the cards and organizing them into some sort of structure, into more diffused sort of zoomed out thinking where I'm just kind of letting my brain flow and think about how I can organize this into a course. I kind of picture the person that I want to teach this to, and also the course, how it could ideally look at the end. And from there, I kind of work backwards and try to guide that into a course. So I use paper. I find paper really helpful. I also have a whiteboard right over here by my desk, and I'll very frequently whiteboard out ideas. And so that's how I kind of brainstorm. The other thing I do is I work with a mind mapping software. This one is called MindNode, and it's a nice tool. But I like this because I can then take my cards, put them into some sort of digital organization, and start to flesh things out even more, and start to kind of drill down into some more in-depth topics that I want to cover. I don't always use a mind map. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how much momentum I feel I have in the course. If I have a lot, then I sometimes might skip the mind map and go right into the writing program. The program that I use is called Ulysses, and I've been using this, I think, for about the last, trying to think, maybe 10 months or something like that. I forget how long it's been. I didn't always use this. I used to just write in BB Edit. This is the web performance testing course. I can then break up the course into sheets. And so what I do is I take the cards and I create a new sheet for each section of the course. And then I can create the subheaders from there, and I start to kind of lay the course out throughout here. So this is module 1, and these are the different topics that I'm covering, and I just start bullet listing out in each section. And then when I get to that section, it's time to write it, and then I'll start typing it all out, and we'll talk about that more later. And so this is how I start to write out my courses. And then what I finally do is I use this here as a way to teach, and I'll show you that in the next video, how I take this written material and use it in a few different ways. So that's the next step that I take in creating courses here at Mijingo. If you want to learn more about the courses, go to Mijingo.com. Thanks a lot. I'm Ryan, and I'll see you in the next video about how I create courses.